All right, joining me to talk about Carolina's Game 4 victory, here is Martin Biron, our TSN Hockey analyst. Marty, a 15-game losing streak in the Eastern Conference Final. 15 games. They were on the verge of being swept for the fourth time in 4 trips. It's almost unfathomable. I mean, this is more than just a moral victory for Carolina, isn't it?
It is way more than just a moral victory, but I feel like I'm the biggest winner in this whole thing because their last conference finals win was in 2006 when Carolina in Game 7 beat the Buffalo Sabres. I was on that team, and then they went on to win the Stanley Cup, so I was sick and tired of hearing it. So I'm the winner here because Carolina won a game. But when you look at the big picture, right, it was about how can you get back to your identity. In Game 2, Rod Brind'Amour said after the first period, I don't know what I'm watching out there. Like, this is not us, and we got a lot of work to do. Well, they got back to their identity. They were tougher to play against. They pushed back a little bit. Their depth was good. And I know Jankowski's goal didn't count, but it's still, you need your depth to be able to create. And it probably would have been 3 or 4-0 for Carolina halfway in the game, but it was still 0-0. And then Stankoven has the perfect shot. It's a great play by Nikishin. Look, he's in the lineup because they've got a couple of injuries on the back end. He makes a great play on transition. And finally, the perfect shot gets through to Bobrovsky. But then again, it's about how well do you defend. In 8 wins in the playoffs and now 9, they've only given up 12 goals. That's about defending. That's how you're going to be successful if you're the Carolina Hurricanes. So, yeah, 3 high-danger chances. That's all they gave up to Florida. Florida averages almost 12 high-danger chances per game. So Rod Brind'Amour is looking around now. He says, thank you. This is what our team looks like. And now it's not just one win. It's the fact that they are back to their identity, and they're back in the series because they're going home, and who knows what can happen now. You can mix and match a little bit and play better as a team. That's what Rod wanted.
And you know, you touched on something there that I want to expand on. The Panthers, I mean, they've been scoring goals in bunches, Marty. 5 or more goals in each of the last 4 games coming in. How exactly did Carolina slow down this Panther offense?
It was the Jaccob Slavin show. We all know Jaccob Slavin is one of, if not the best defensive defenseman in the National Hockey League. So he needed to play and play a ton because you don't have Walker, you don't have Chatfield. And when you look at Slavin, his impact, right? Him and Burns playing together, but he ends up the night with 28 minutes on the ice. He didn't play much in game 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23 minutes or so. So now, you know, Rod Brind'Amour's like, I got to put him on the ice, and I got to put those 2 on the ice as much as I can. So that is how you're going to get there. And 2, the penalty kill. Florida was 4-for-9 entering Game 4. They go 0-for-4 in Game 4. Why? Because Jaccob Slavin played over 6 minutes on the penalty kill. They had 8 minutes of shorthanded time, and Slavin played over 75% of that. Like, he was always on the ice on the penalty kill. Look, Freddie Anderson had to make 20 saves. And it's great that you are supporting Freddie. He's back in the net, gets a shutout. But if it wasn't for Slavin playing 28 minutes, playing 6-10 on the penalty kill, it would have been a different story. You would have given up goals. So obviously, I think that it was time to put Jaccob Slavin on the ice every other shift. They did that. They were successful, and they go on to win now. And you got to do the same thing in Game 5. You got to put Slavin out there for 30 minutes if you have to, because that's the recipe to win the game.
It's interesting because Jaccob Slavin was so good at the Four Nations face-off, Marty. I think a lot of people who maybe hadn't had a chance to see him play that much, their eyes were really open to, as you mentioned, at one of the best defensive defensemen in the National Hockey League. Though it's still a mountain to climb for Carolina. Just 4 teams in NHL history have come back from a 3-0 series deficit. Game 5 will be Wednesday, as Marty mentioned, back in Raleigh. This is Martin Biron.